What an interesting few weeks we've had. Warmer weather coming, lighter mornings and evenings, and loads of people have now had their vaccines. Things may be looking up. Mind you, we've had a hard year of it this last year, and it's not over yet. We've not been able to see family as we'd like, and we've all been missing out on visiting friends and family. It's been a hard struggle, and sometimes it's felt like being in the dark and there's not much light about us. I've really felt like I've needed a lighthouse to give me some direction.
And in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence you won't let go. In the questions your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the peace in my troubled sea.
My Lighthouse by the Rend Collective. And if you'd like to colour in a lighthouse, we've put one on the website for you to download. When you've done yours, send it into the office so we can share it with everybody else. I felt like I've needed a lighthouse. I've been very frustrated not being able to visit our grandchildren, and we've had a new one born in January, and we've not even been able to hold young Casper yet. A lighthouse for me has been contact with the family, and you, my friends, here online with me today. All this has lifted my spirits, helped me appreciate God's love for me in new and unexpected ways. God's love leading me on and showing me the way. Those of you here with me, how have you been finding it?
Well, the thing I've found difficult is making sense of some of the statistics that we're bombarded with about COVID, about the vaccine, about climate change, lots of things. And sensing that somehow we become overly focused on these numbers for our own needs and our own lives. But what has given me a lift is watching the action at Nifty Lifts in the morning and all the things that are happening there, and hearing a skylark singing in the fields above Calverton and spotting hares sleeping in the sunshine.
For me, at the start of the first lockdown, I was having some building work done, and they ripped out all of my kitchen the day before we went down. So for nearly 3 months, I was living in 2 rooms, cooking, doing the washing up, sleeping, relaxing.
Oh.
But for me, the end of my, or the light at the end of my tunnel was my brand new kitchen. Eventually in July, I was able to get in my kitchen and use it. And that really is the light at the end of my tunnel.
I play cornet in Bradwell Silver Band, and it's been nearly a year since we all played together as a band. We've missed our music and our concerts so much. We especially missed all our Christmas band concerts. A small amount of light came last autumn when we were able to rehearse in groups of 6. But then another lockdown came. There is light though. We do have regular meetups and we have quizzes online via Zoom. And it's great to keep in touch that way with each other. So we're really looking forward to getting together again to start playing in the next few months.
Lockdown has been hard because we've not been able to see family or friends, pop out for a coffee, pop and see anything. We've all been staying at home. And I found light by going for lovely walks, looking at the things that there are around us, or spending time in my garden, usually with some music playing in my ears, looking at what's going on, hearing the birds song when there's a gap in the music, feeding the birds, and just generally looking after things in the garden. So that gives me the light.
My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise, you will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore.
We've all found things difficult, yet we've managed to encourage each other as well and find ways of knowing God with us and that Jesus loves us very much. We've asked a few people what has lifted their spirits and what's helped them not to be overcome by the darkness.
When James was thinking about this, he drew a picture for his mum, Catherine. On one side, he said that it was him feeling in the dark and sad. But on the other side, this was James with his mum, feeling he was in the light and feeling happy. Thanks very much, James. I think I can understand that. Elaine was thinking about being in the dark too, which she imagined like being in a tunnel. So she sent us some pictures. Listen to her story.
Hello everyone, girls and boys, mums and dads. How has this theme from darkness into light affected me, I wonder? Well, if you've ever travelled on a canal boat into a long tunnel like the Blisworth at Stoke Bruin, you'll know how it gets quieter and darker, just like the cave in We're Going on a Bear Hunt. Looking behind, the light slowly disappears and the dark engulfs us. But far ahead we spy a pinprick of light which grows larger as the boat glides nearer. When we emerge into the bright daylight, we all sigh with relief, just as the children did after rushing out of the cave into their beds. The last lockdown came suddenly in the dark, grey days of winter. For me, it was a long list of no's, exacerbated by short days and longer nights. Not a lot to get up for, really, but kept afloat by chatty phone calls, creating birthday cards, and best of all, walks. Aren't we blessed in the Watling Valley with so many open areas, gardens and lakes, with crocuses and snowdrops, squirrels scampering up trees, ducks and swans sailing on the water, and red kites swooping above. For me, all of these sightings are like the pinpricks of light at the end of the tunnel. And when we slowly crawl into that light of no lockdown, masks and distancing, I look forward to seeing smiling faces, feeling hugs, doing my own shopping, and singing hymns side by side in church again. I'll meet family and friends at Dunstable Downs to watch the gliders. Days out at National Trust properties will seem like holidays, and visits to our home will bring hugs and laughter. I will also be reminded to be thankful for every gift of love, friendship, and the beauties of nature, and never to take them for granted.
Talk about getting out and water. Here's a short video I took the other day of the stream near our house. It was so quiet and lovely. I just stood there and enjoyed it for a few moments.
Talking about getting out, Amira was out feeding the swans, and she sent us a video.
Yeah.
I enjoy looking after animals.
And not only feeding swans, Annabelle took Kate and Francesca out with Dad Angus to feed some ponies. And Annabelle has sent us this story and a picture.
Something that has made our family happy is walking in Tattenhoe Park near Priory Rise School and feeding the traveller ponies with bags of carrots and apples. We've always loved the ponies and have often gone to see them, but during lockdown 3, we have made it a regular thing. We felt so sorry for them in the severely waterlogged field with thick mud, and felt that we were bringing a little sunshine to their otherwise very gloomy day. Kate and Francesca have both loved doing it and have been so gentle with all the ponies. The girls have learnt how to feed the ponies safely and to wait at the end of their tethers for the ponies to come to them, so not to risk getting tangled in the rope. When we went out the other day, we prepared the biggest bags of carrots and apples, yet we found the ponies had gone. After being very upset that we could not make a fuss of them, we then hoped that they had been taken somewhere more suitable. We talked about them being in a drier field with more grass and perhaps with some shelter, which they hadn't had at Tattenhoe Park. This helped with our sadness and made us happy again that they were being cared for by their owners. Getting out is brilliant. June sent us a video telling us about her walks out.
Hello everyone. I make it 230 days roughly since I started my sort of lockdown. No church, no messy church, no eating out, no shopping, no lunch club and no coffee mornings. But I still have one walk a day, and I walk to the pond to feed the moorhens. The last time I went, I was feeding the moorhens when a seagull come down and took the bread right out of the moorhen's mouth, lifted him up, and I had a laugh. And then I thought, well, there's so much still out there for us all to enjoy the nature of it.
Of course, there's social distancing as well. So when Sam, Anya and Ella went out to see Sheila and David, they were sure to keep their distance.
If I have a sad day, I like to come and have a walk with Anya and Ella. And we get to come and see Nanny and Grandad too.
If I'm having a sad day, I would like to see a member of the family on a video chat, read a book or make a picture. When I'm sad, I like to spend time with Auntie Sam.
I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the peace in my troubled sea.
For some people, they managed to get up to things when they went out, like George and Steve. Check them out. They've even put it on their own YouTube channel. But here's something they prepared for us today.
This is George.
This is Dad Steve.
George has been inspired by quite a few YouTubers, so we decided to start our own YouTube channel, have fun and play games, didn't we? Yeah. We've added a few videos so far. We've got about 20 subscribers. Our videos have had over 3,000 views, and we've even got our own merch as well. Check that out. One game we played is a game of bottle flipping, where basically you fill a bottle a third of the way up with liquid and you've got to try and flip it and land it on its bottom. This is us having a go. Why don't you try it out yourself? Yes! 1, I get the point? Oh no!
And Olivia and Edward sent us a video of them on a seesaw. And then, after all that running around, they had a lovely bath with bubbles.
So what makes you happy?
Morning bath with bubbles. I get triple bath.
Isn't there a song about forever blowing bubbles? What a lot of fun. Talking about having outside fun, Amira raises the stakes. She's training as a gymnast. Watch these backflips.
And I like going outside and doing backflips.
Very impressive. Be sure you get an adult to help you if you'd like to be able to do that. And some people have been very active inside, dancing. Watch Nathan, Freddie and Theo. First, they tell us what makes them happy, and then they show us what happens when Chris and Nikki let them loose to dance.
My name is Nathan. My light in the darkness has been playing with my brothers because it makes me feel happy. My name is Freddie. And my life is in the darkness. This is music and dancing. My name is Theo. It's dancing. It's Dolly. It's Dolly. Make me feel happy.
Now that's vigorous dancing. Anya, on the other hand, loves her dancing too, but not quite so vigorously. This is the fabulous song and dance routine that she sent in.
Hi everyone, my name is Anya. I am 8 years old. The singing makes me happy, so let's get started. When all the tears are falling down your face, and it feels like yours was the only heart to break. And when you come back home and all the lights are out, and you're getting used to no one else being around. Oh, I'll be there when you need no love, my God, you'll love to share. Yeah, I'm gonna come through. You'll never be alone, I'll be there for you. I'll be there, yeah, I'll be there for you. I'll be there, yeah, I'll be there for you. Oh, I swear, yeah, I got enough love for two. Never be alone, I'll be there for you.
My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise, you will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore.
And talking about dancing, have you heard of kitchen disco? Well, here's a bit of fun. Among lots of online activities, Esther's also doing kitchen disco. Here's the picture that she sent.
And here's what she wrote. Many things have kept me going through lockdown. I love catching up on FaceTime with my family and doing online kitchen discos on a Saturday. I'm now more thankful for the technology I have in my house, which means I can take part in Zoom calls with friends and take part in church online. I can't wait for us all to be over so we can see our friends and family again. Yeah, so do we all, Esther. And Julia has been learning to make cake for all the family. Here's the video she sent us.
Hi, I'm Julia, and over lockdown one of the things that I have enjoyed is making cakes. It's been really good because I've learned how to make them and it's really nice for all the family.
Great idea, Julia. Thanks for telling us about that. Speaking of baking, Casey has been baking again and spoiling some of us with what she's made. Millionaire shortbread. I hope you notice only one of us is showing what's going on. Thanks very much, Casey. And while I enjoy my treat, here's how she did it if you'd like to have a go. Get the recipe that's on our website. Lovely.
Well, Barry, that's not very nice eating that in front of all of us.
You will need to grease the baking tray and line it with baking paper. I'm not going to line mine because it's got a detachable base. Next, you need to mix 250 grams of plain flour and 75 grams of caster sugar in a bowl. Next, you need to cut 175 grams of butter into small chunks and put them in the bowl with the flour and the sugar. Then you need to mix them together like this between your fingers until they resemble fine breadcrumbs. Now that the shortbread's all pushed down nicely, you need to use a fork to make small pricks along the shortbread. Now I'm going to put it into the oven and cook it for about 20 minutes or until it's golden brown. Now I'm going to take the shortbread out of the oven because it's firm to the touch and slightly brown around the edges. When you're doing this, please get an adult to help you and be careful. Now that the shortbread is out of the oven, we can put it to one side to cool down while we make the caramel. You need to add 397 grams of condensed milk to a saucepan. There should be 1 tin. Then you need to add 100 grams of butter and 100 grams of brown sugar. You then need to heat this slowly until the sugar dissolves. Now that the ingredients are all combined, continue to stir as you turn up the heat and bring it to the boil. Now that it's boiling, you need to keep stirring as you turn the heat back down. Now that the heat is back down, continue stirring it for 5 to 10 minutes until it thickens. Now that the caramel is on the shortbread, you want to spread it out evenly with a spatula. Now that the caramel is spread out on the shortbread, you need to leave them to cool down before we do the chocolate topping. You can leave it on a counter or put it in the fridge to cool. We're going to put it in the fridge. Now that our shortbread and caramel are completely cooled down, you need to snap up 200 grams of milk chocolate, put them in a bowl over a pan of hot water and stir them to melt it. Now that our chocolate's all melted, you need to take the bowl off of the pan. Please be careful and get an adult to help you. Now we can pour the chocolate over the caramel. Please be really careful and get an adult to help you with this. Now that we've smoothed the chocolate out, we're just going to put it back in the fridge to set. Now that the shortbread is all completely cooled and set, we're going to cut it into little chunks. We're going to use a knife run under a hot tap. Please get an adult to help you. And here is the finished shortbread.
Talking about chocolate, how about chocolate cookies? Olivia and Edward loved making theirs.
What makes you happy?
Making cookies and mashing up food!
And Brianna is very pleased to have her favourite food available, even in lockdown.
What I'm grateful for is that even though lockdown's happening, my favourite takeaway McDonald's is open and that chicken wings are still around. We even met the chicken wing song. Chicken wing, hot dogs and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies.
Chicken rings and macaroni. Oh, I like it. Even in lockdown, love it. In this last year, we've all had birthdays, perhaps which have been less than brilliant. As difficult as it's been, Michaela's managed to see the bright side of things. So thank you, Michaela, for encouraging us.
It makes me happy that I got to spend my 12th birthday in lockdown with my family. Even though I didn't get a birthday party, I'm still very happy.
And then there was Christmas too. Not lots of visitors, but Gabriel received a great present.
During lockdown, the thing that lit my way in the darkness were the gifts I received. The opportunities opened from being in home for a while, the time spent with family. I could spend more virtual time with friends and I could relax more. However, I couldn't physically see my friends and it was psychologically draining. I myself got COVID-19, however, a light came from it. I didn't share it and everyone in my house was fine. I also grew my hair from October 2018 and during lockdown I chose to cut it but thought, why waste my hair? So my mum and I chose to cut our hair for charity. I raised enough money for 3 wigs, £1,500, and other children are or have been very lucky to get a wig. There have been many bad things throughout lockdown, but there has always been a light in the darkness. Roar!
A light in the darkness, he says, with a growl. William's also enjoyed some gifts and has been building up his collection of Hogwarts Lego. Here he is with some of his collection. And he says, the things I didn't like in lockdown were isolation, friends not allowed to come, and not playing football. The things that kept me going are Lego, my dog, and playing with my brother.
Ah, nice.
So while there has been some running around and dancing, baking and making things, there have been some quieter times too. That's also been Stephen's experience.
Hello, my name is Stephen. Before lockdown, I didn't really read as much as I should have, but now we're in lockdown, I find myself reading a lot more and I really enjoy it.
That didn't stop Stephen giving Julia a good bit of exercise at the table tennis table. Watch.
One more go. Not yet, no.
You filming? Hi, I'm Stephen and this is Julia. Hi. And we've discovered that in lockdown that we really like playing ping pong because we got for Christmas this ping pong thing and it's been really fun.
But some indoor activity has been nice and quiet with our pets. Isabel sent us a video of Thomas, her cat, whose company she's been enjoying quietly.
When I feel sad, Thomas makes me feel happy because he's the best cat in the world and he always makes me feel happy.
Our pets have been very important to us in lockdown. They just love us because we're there. I suppose like a gift of love, helping to lift our spirits and feel better about ourselves and the world about us. Thanks for sharing that with us, Isabel. Of course, people also help us feel special, especially when they bring a gift. Avril received these flowers as a gift.
She writes, "Here are the photos of the flowers that gave me such a pleasant surprise and lightened my day," and many more, "when they arrived in a cardboard box posted through my letterbox. They were from an old friend that I hadn't seen for ages, and she was staying up north looking after her grandchildren. The flowers are still looking lovely." What a lovely surprise, bringing the outside in. Carol, on the other hand, has been taking herself outside, in decent weather, of course, to help her lift her spirits too. Here she tells us a bit about it, and she's also sent us a few pictures about what she's seen.
Hi, what do I do when I'm feeling down? Do you know, even on the days when I don't want to go outside, I know that once I do, things will look different. Just to get out in nature, enjoy everything, try to name the birds, try to sniff the air, just noticing when leaves are coming out, to see new plants, to try to name them too. Nature is such a resource for us all. So, you know, I can highly recommend that.
Thanks, Carol. Nature, all about us, and sometimes surprising us. Mary sent this video called Pandemonium. I wonder if you can work out why it's called that. Took me a while. He had a good laugh and wanted to share it with us today.
They were certainly having lots of fun. Today is the second Sunday of Lent. And I wonder if you realize that the word Lent originally meant spring. Yes, it does. In church, Lent is also a time to remember that there are new beginnings all about us. Spring bulbs are growing strongly. Some flowers are already out, and many trees are beginning to show new roots, or shoots even. New growth is happening all about us. We know this happens every year, but this year we might feel the significance quite differently. We're looking for new beginnings. We've been through some hard times, and some people have struggled a lot. Unfortunately, some people have been very sick, and some of our family and friends have died, leaving us very sad. Especially when we're feeling down and things are difficult, we look for direction. We look for a lighthouse to direct us in the ways of peace and of love. Lent and Easter remind us that God is always with us, always encouraging us to support each other and share God's love with each other. Thank you to everyone who has shared a few moments of light with us and helped us to feel better about the world and about ourselves. In all these actions, it is God's love we are sharing, brought to us by Jesus.
Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Wrestling and in my dance, in my failures you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence you won't let go. In the questions your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the peace in my troubled sea.